I'm not sure that's probably the content that James really wants, because we need the space to put the crops in. Looking across there, you can see the barley turning real good. It's the 12th of June. James is away for a couple of days again, so I'm on the video again. This is Berwick's store. It's currently full of oats. We've just opened it up, started unloading it on Monday. It's an 8,000 tonne store, not quite 8,000 tonnes in it because the oats are obviously lighter than the wheat. But we're emptying the store as quick as possible, ready to get it cleaned down and turned around, ready for harvest. Later on in this week, we have some long grain white rice coming from Myanmar. That will come on container lorries. That's Thursday, Friday, coming into one of our other stores for S&B Herber. Also at the moment we've got feed wheat still coming in, filling our other store, and Group 1 wheat coming in, both with ourselves and with Frontier, filling a couple of other stores. As you can see behind me, combines are still here. A lot less parts lying around because they're nearly done, ready for harvest. This one's had the two-way radio fitted yesterday. One is in the workshop to have its two-way radio. These two still need to be done. But yeah, certainly looking pretty close now, not parts lying around. Another few weeks and they'll be in the field. So we've come for have a little look inside the combine. It's actually the first time I've been in one of these new ones. There's a hell of a lot of buttons over here, which I'm going to try not to touch. You can see we've had the two-way radio fitted here with the mic hanging to the side, which is really important for communication between not only the combine and the chaser bin drivers, but also with the lorry drivers and the grain store, just to keep everything flowing as to what's happening as the harvest is progressing. One thing you do realise from sitting in here is actually just how big they are. Obviously I'm used to sitting in a truck, which is pretty big on the road, but yeah, these things must be amazing and very difficult to drive down the road. Although actually the mirrors give really good visibility. 3 mirrors on each side, set up quite nicely. Other than behind, they can pretty much see everywhere you would need to, which is, I guess, really essential to driving these down the road. As you can see behind me, quite obvious, there's combines in the workshop. This one's in for the two-way radio. Unfortunately the weather's not been too kind, so it's a lot easier to put it in here to work on, because they actually have to take a panel off on the roof to fit the aerial and get a good ground plane. Obviously you don't really want to be doing that in the rain. Nothing actually happening today because they've all gone to cereals, so it's a bit of a ghost town around here really, other than on the truck side and Gordon in the Weybridge. So as you can see, PXF14 is got the VOR plate on it. It's having some repairs. It's actually due an MOT, but alongside that we found some issues with it. It's got a crack on the inside, which we'll go inside and take a look at. This is one of our older trailers, 10 years old, starting to get a couple of little issues, signs of wear now, which is why we're looking at replacement. Thanks for the comments on the last video. Several people recommended Stas trailers. We'll definitely be looking into that. I've actually got a meeting scheduled with the CEO of Frohoff at the end of the week to talk through specs and sizes and prices and everything. So looking forward to seeing where things go from there, and yeah, we'll just keep doing our homework. We're here inside trailer PXF14. As you can see by the tools laying around, it's having a bit of repairs. We noticed that the side of the trailer seemed to be flexing a little bit when it was loaded. So we've done a bit of investigation into it and actually found that one of the welds along the side was cracked. So we've got Andy, our welder, here today. He's working through it with. This is actually one of the older trailers, 10 years old, which is why we're looking to replace them. But that doesn't happen overnight, so repairs like this have to happen to keep the fleet moving. We've rented a task registered trailer in for the time being while this is being done. hopefully it shouldn't be too long, but I'd say it's probably a good 3 or 4 days, maybe even a week's work, just to fix this section. So we've got J5 in the background. He's brought in a load of feed wheat. He left nice and early this morning and was first in the queue where he was loading. Unfortunately, had a breakdown that held him up a bit. It'll take about 25 minutes to tip on this pit. Once he's weighed out, he's going to go round and load with the oats that we saw at Berwick store, taking those to Kettering, and move on from there. As you can see in the background, they've got the flat trailers here again. As you can see, this front one's now had the headboard chopped down, so that's going to have a custom frame built around that, but that's how that part of the headboard is going to stay. It's all been stripped off, all the arches stripped off to gain access along the chassis to do the strengthening to match the other one. All the steel work, I believe, has been cut, so hopefully work will continue on that this week. Obviously it's been interrupted a little with the problems with PXF 14, but that can't be helped. The tipper trailer's got to be fixed first, and then Andy will jump straight onto this. So we're back in Aberdeen store. Obviously harvest is approaching. You can see behind me there's still quite a stack of wheat there. There's actually about 3,000 tonnes there. That's going to be moved to the front of the store before harvest, because that's going to be taken out to the mills during early harvest and throughout harvest, and then when we start harvesting our fresh wheat crop, we'll go start from the back of the store, come forwards. Hopefully by the time we get towards the front, we'll be well through the 3,000 tonnes, so the two won't meet and won't cause any issues. As you can see, we had some seed here when we were in here last time. That's now all been moved and stored away, ready for drilling. Lots of preparation going on for harvest, a lot of clearing out and getting sorted, because we need the space to put the crops in. So we're tucked away in our little secret hiding place where we've got our stock of tyres. We actually bought 72 Bridgestone tyres all in one hit, which is a full set for each of our trailers, for each of our tipping trailers, should I say. We did that because actually we got a massive discount by doing that, so a huge cost saving across, and also it guarantees our supply of good quality tyres sat ready to go. So when they come around, the tyre fitters come around at the weekends and do the fleet inspection, anything that's needed, the tyres are sat here ready to go, no waiting. Trucks are back on the road Monday with new tyres. Drivers don't even realise anything has been done until they turn up Monday morning and find there's new tyres. Alongside of that, we also do quite a lot of husbandry work alongside of the tyres. So that is a lot kind of tyre maintenance, if you like. So if you find that the middle axle, the tyres have got a really good tread depth and the fronts are getting low, we switch them round to prolong the life of the tyres, because a middle axle will always run a tyre out longer than a front or a rear, because the front and the rear scrub more when they're turning around in tight farmyards. So we do a lot of the rotating work, which prolongs the life of the tyre, which obviously over the year creates a bit more of a cost saving. In the background we've got Gordon on the teleporter, loading Magic in J9 with a load of oats to go to Kettering. As you can see, you've got to fill it up really well with oats because they're quite light. So you start to see a bit of a heap forming, and then the driver will shunt backwards and forwards to shuffle it down a little bit, and then Gordon will top it up again until the trailer is full. As you can see in the background, the entrance to Berwick store, you can see the thick metal plates across the door, up there numbered. That holds the heat back with just a little gap at the bottom, so Gordon can load out of there quite easily, and the product just trickles out a little bit at a time as opposed to the whole heap coming towards the door, so it makes it a lot more manageable. So as soon as Magic was loaded, he pulled around. Austin's pulled straight up for another load of oats. We're pretty flat out on that at the moment. Got 4 trucks on it currently. doing 4 loads a day, as well as some of the other trucks nipping in between other loads or as their last load. I think we did about 20 loads yesterday, hoping to do similar today. We're probably looking at about 240 loads for the whole store, and we need to get that out as quick as possible to have the biggest amount of time to clean the shed ready for harvest, as that store I think is going to be for our barley that we've grown this year. So time's ticking down now for harvest, and we need to get it empty and cleaned down and turned around just in time. So I've just got back from holiday. Nice to have a little break just before harvest. Received the feedback from the NFU regarding the health and safety audit. Been going through that, checking what actions need to be done. They're all being implemented around and about the yard. You'll probably see in videos as you're walking around new bits of barrier and bits being put in place. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to have done. Make sure we're all on top. I think we were pretty good, but just a couple of little bits and pieces around the edging just to tidy up. As you can see in the background, the lorries are queuing up in and out. It's a very busy day, especially as actually Gordon's on his own in the weighbridge this week, because Steve's having a well-earned week's rest before harvest starts. And he's just weighed in. He's weighed out from his feed week, then weighed back in, empty, ready to go and load oats. As you can see, Magic and Austin behind him are now weighing out, loaded with oats, and Gary's bringing a load of feed wheat in, and the Frontier lorry, he's got some Group 1 filling a different store. Truck on the bridge being sampled, checking all the spec, along with checking the spec. Every load that comes in or going out has to have a passport on there. It has details of if the crop's been treated. It also has the last 3 loads that the driver's done and the cleaning methods, the farm it's come from, and it just helps with the traceability of everything and keeps everything in line. So behind me here, obviously walking around the yard, you see a lot of our new machinery. We do still have some old stuff kicking about. This is our fuel support tanker. I don't actually know what year it is, but it still gets out through harvest daily, keeping the tractors top out in the fields, and yeah, still providing a good service. So we've covered everything that was happening in the yard on the haulage side. We just thought, as James was away, it'd be a few more days before he does another video, we'd come over and just have a little look at the mustard and the barley, just to keep a check on the progress. Obviously I'm on the haulage side, I'm no expert on crops by any stretch of the imagination, but I have to say, looking across this field of mustard, it is looking pretty impressive. And in the background the barley's definitely starting to turn, so that's exciting. That it's definitely getting close to kicking off now. I personally love the harvest time of year. I don't know if that's just a PX thing or just in general, but I think it's, from a haulage side, it's more of the old school type of trucking and everybody running together, and yeah, it's just a generally nice time, and predominantly most people are pleased around harvest. I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but we're just on our way out of Rectory Farm, and we come across 5 young fox cubs playing in the middle of the road. So we've just stopped and got out, and yeah, just waiting to see if they'll come back out and see if we can get a good shot of them. So we're on the edge of the field now. This is where the foxes were. We thought we'd just stand here for a few minutes to see if they came back out. I'm not sure that's probably the content that James really wants on farming or haulage, or the fact that I'm out of the office watching foxes, but for us it was pretty cool just for 10 minutes. Never a simple day in haulage. One of the trucks has just come in, As we discussed earlier, they're taking Oats to Kettering. We've just heard that the A14's been closed at Thrapston, so they're going to have to take a bit of a diversion, which unfortunately means pretty much every truck's going to be down at least one load today. It's an unfortunate part of haulage. These things happen. We just hope anybody involved in the RTA is okay. Hope you've enjoyed our little tour around for today. We've seen your comments on previous videos about machinery store and looking at all the different machines. We're working on that to try and get them all together and put a video together. Also, in addition to that, we've got Volvo coming out for a breakfast meeting next Tuesday to go through all the spec of the new trucks and talk through the drivers. Now they've had them for about a month or so. Talk through all the use of them and all the clever little gizmos. With that, Volvo actually want to do a little bit of a photo shoot, so we'll have all 12 trucks and trailers all together. We'll try and put a bit of a video together alongside that. In the meantime, I think James will have another video across sometime towards the end of the week.